Now let's move on to a couple of other ways of describing a data set. So we're talking about the range and the median of a sample. So the range is one way of describing the spread of the data sets. Probably the simplest way of describing the spread of the data set. So whether all the values are very similar or whether they're quite spread out. And so that's the largest minus the smallest measurement. And then we're also talking about the median, which is another way of thinking about the central value. So in contrast to the means, this is kind of another way of thinking about that. And we can write that as x with a little tilde on top like that. And it's simply the middle number after we've ranked all the values. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So the first thing we have to do, if we're confronted with a data set like this one, so let's imagine we've got this, so this is 26. So here's my data set. So the first thing we have to do is rank the measurements from the smallest to largest. So let's do that. You can do this in Excel very easily, or I'm going to do it by hand here. So 1, 3, the next one is 10, 17, 20, 21, 26, 28, 35. And I can see that I have 9 measurements here, so n equals 5. Okay, so with this data set, I have ranked it, and then the second thing to do is if n is odd, then I can simply, an odd number, then simply take the middle number of my ranked set, so that's the 5th one as we go up, so it's got 4 on each side. So this is the median. And we can do some other things with this data set as well. So the range is equal to 35 minus 1, or 34. I've told you that the median is 20. And then the mean is, we know the equation for that from last video, so that's 163 over 9, or 18.1. So here the median and the mean are actually quite similar. Okay, let's do another one. Another example data set. So this one I've already ranked them for you. Writing out my numbers here: 37, 54, 120, 250. So here the range is much bigger. 249. However, my n equals 9, the mean is exactly the same. So our middle number with 4 on either side is 20 again. Here median is 20, so that's the same, and then the mean It's quite different though. Sorry, sum of x over n. So in this case that gives us 496 over 9, which is 55.1. So the median is identical, but the range is much bigger, and also the mean is quite different. Now let's just add one more data set. So that's to show you what to do if n is an even number. So in that case you just take the mean of the two middle numbers, take the average of the two middle numbers. So I'm going to add an extra data point. So here's a different data set. So here n is 10. So we've got this extra. So here the middle point is right here. So we have to take the mean of these two. So that's median is 20 plus 25 over 2. So that's 22.5. And the range is the same as in this previous example, so 250 minus 1, or 249, and the mean is pretty similar. So that's again the sum of x over n, which in this case is 521 over 10, or 52.1. So if n is even, then you just take the mean of the two middle numbers, but if it's odd, you take the middle number to get the median.